It is Wednesday, August 20th. Welcome to another episode of Post Hunt Clarity. This is going to be episode, I think we just talked about it, 22, right?
This is episode 22. Ben, you are correct.
Episode 22. So, season 3 of Post Hunt Clarity. Let's get into it tonight. I think what we're going to talk about, Gabe has done some work at his lease, so we'll probably get into that a little while later. But I think for a lot of people, this is a pretty exciting time of the year. It's kind of like Thanksgiving is to Christmas. You know, it's we're right there kind of finishing up final things, and, right around the corner is Christmas or opening day. So for me, I'm kind of at that window where I think I'm inside of 2 weeks from opening day now. No, that's a complete lie. This Saturday will be 2 weeks from opening day. So I'm kind of trying to stay out of the woods unless I really have something I need to go do. I think a lot of people, even up north, like getting up into Wisconsin and stuff, you guys are inside of a month. It's kind of the same thing. So
I'm inside of a week right now.
Yeah, I guess you're going to North Dakota too.
Yep.
So just so our viewers know, Gabe will be the first one in the woods. You're going when? Like a week from tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm leaving Thursday morning next week.
Yeah, so
I'm leaving the 28th, and season starts at noon on Friday the 29th.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to talk about tonight is we've had a couple podcasts, I feel like, in the past where we've talked about gear, and that might be part of tonight, but what are kind of the non-essential things or the things that are outside of your hunting woods that you can do this time of the year?
Correct, and that's not just scouting. And we'll just talk about a bunch of different things.
It might be shooting your bow. It might be gear that you need to replace or change for this year. So I've kind of been thinking about this for a while. I know I sprung this on you a little bit last minute. So I don't know, Gabe, if you have some examples of some things that you're really working on and focusing on over the next week and then really leading into your Wisconsin season. If you want to start, feel free to dive in.
Yeah, so this is honestly probably going to be a different list than even what you're expecting. Everybody wants to talk gear and preparations, and this year I tried over the summer, late July, early August. I've always shot a wrist release. It's like the older, it's 10, 15 years old, like a TrueFire Hardcore, which is a hook wrist release. And I've struggled with target panic every now and then again it shows up or whatever. So I went to switch to a thumb release to try and help me out with target panic. And then I realized that like my anchor point's off, the draw length's now wrong from switching to it. I shot it for a couple days and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to upgrade to a newer version of the same wrist release. And honestly, I was able to adjust the trigger tension and stuff and just keep shooting at 20, 30 yards in my backyard to the point where right now I'm shooting with as much confidence as I ever have in my life. Like I'm stacking. I have tighter groups now than I've shot anywhere. Like last year, I remember we had a podcast where I told you I'm shooting lights out. This is the best, I've ever shot. Like I'm saying the same damn thing, but I promise you I'm shooting way better right now than I was whenever, which is great.
Yeah,
but there's a bunch of different. It's actually interesting how this goes because this is my 6th year, I think, 6th or 7th year, 6th for sure. Hunting early season, like at the end of August, early September, like this, where I'm prepping for like a Western style hunt, right? So I'm whitetail hunting in North Dakota. In years prior, like I'm spending weeks ahead of time getting stuff ready. Like I'm buying gear and I'm doing this year. I really haven't done that. Like I'm leaving a week from today and I haven't hardly thought about it other than I know I have a list that after this weekend, like I'm going to go buy some peak refuel meals. Like I have all the clothes I need. I have all the like physical gear that I would bring out in the woods and I have everything that I need for camp. What I did different this year is I was actually looking at like maintenance stuff on my vehicle, right? Like I made sure I got my oil changed, like my tires rotated. I probably should have gotten new tires for my truck before this trip, but I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and send it on the tires I have right now anyways, just due to finance stuff.
Yeah,
which is things like people don't even talk about.
For a minute, Gabe, is like part of I'm always hesitant to bring up the gear thing because I think it's already overlooked at by like the average hunter, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is like if you're going on a trip, right, and you're the average guy, you're going to North Dakota, the average person I feel like spends probably 60 to 70% of their time looking at gear, maybe 20% of their time, or maybe 10% of their time shooting their bow, maybe another 10% e-scouting, and maybe another 10% trying to get in a little bit better shape. Like, when in reality, for a hunt like that, you should spend 50% of your time scouting and 30, or what, way more of it should be spent on the non-gear stuff, and like 10% of your time should be spent around focusing on gear. However, the reason I wanted to bring it up in this episode is it is, if done properly, a very essential thing. And so I guess, like, for you, like, maintenance on your vehicle, like, that is very important when you're driving your vehicle halfway across the
And
country
like
to go
it's
hunt.
also
So,
something I've really never like thought about, right? Like I've always been more like, oh, okay, I need to scout. Like I need to have waypoints. I need to make sure my broadheads are flying great, which you do, but I'm like, guess what? None of that matters if you can't get out there. Like
right,
if you blow a
yeah,
tire, your vehicle dies on the side of the road on the way out there. Like, okay, what was the point of all the effort and time you just spent? Like
yeah,
people really need to like cover all aspects. Like there's way more than just sitting at home on Onyx and doing some scouting or shooting a couple arrows every night. Like there's so much more to a out of state hunt
yeah,
that takes place. Now, if you're not going on out of state hunt like your case and you're just waiting for season, like maybe you're not really worried about that. In your case, you would be more like, oh, if you have new gear, I mean, I'll let you kind of describe it, but it sounds like you have a new system or a new method for hunting this year that you probably had to practice with and get used to, and there's some learning stuff that you want to get more than comfortable with before season rather than just going in on the first day of season and struggling to get set up in the tree or whatever you're doing.
yeah. So, again, all my point was is to say that, like, there definitely is a place for the gear conversation, a reason to spend some time on it. But be careful if you're going on an out of state hunt. Like, you don't need to buy all brand new Sitka to go on an out of state hunt. Like, spend way more time trying to get in shape, trying to get really good at shooting, trying to e-scout, like doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I did buy brand new Sitka the first time I went on an out of state hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you would.
I
Um,
did. Yeah.
but every year, kind of at the end of season, and a lot of like leading into the next season, I try to spend some time reflecting on just like what about my gear could be better that I feel like might be worth replacing.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like what are the
Yeah.
few things I need to swap out this year that I just didn't really like? Some years it might be as simple as, like, trying to think of a good example. Like, a couple of years ago, it was like, okay, I need a different bino harness. Like,
Yep.
something simple like that. That was like, I need something tighter to my chest and that actually protects my binoculars. And so this year, let me start with probably the biggest switch I made was I went to a saddle system. So I had a nested pack last year. The nested is great. I have nothing but good things to say about it. However, I will say, if you are going to hunt with a tree stand, like a hang-on style mobile system, you are just going to have a little bit more weight than a saddle. What you're going to gain in weight, you're probably also going to gain in a little bit of additional comfort, and just being able to hunt out of that more traditional tree stand style feel. So it's just kind of a to each their own thing. To me, I wanted to give up a little bit of that comfort, and tree stand to just be able to go in a little bit lighter. So went to a saddle. That was actually before I started getting permission everywhere. But I think it's going to be really good even on private land.
Hmm.
So over the last couple of weeks, that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been practicing with it a little bit. I've gotten to where I'm very comfortable with it, very comfortable getting it into a tree. Now it's just been doing a little bit of shooting out of it, because I will say that's different. The other big gear change that I made this year is I switched broadheads and I went to a bit heavier arrow setup.
Yeah. What's
So
your arrow
last
weighing at right now?
Right now, I'm trying to remember exact. I'm at like 505 or 5'10". It's somewhere in there. I can't remember exactly where it falls. So last year, I think I talked about this on the pod. I shot a buck at it was like 29 yards, I think, so about 30 yards. Thought I made a good shot and just hit him a little further forward than I thought and just got like no penetration. Shooting a fixed blade slick trick original, so 1 inch by 1 inch cut. And just like kind of reviewed that. Like 30's starting to get to where like you're pushing the shoulder a little bit no matter what you're shooting. Like you might not blow through that, but I just kind of reflected on my gear, and I'm just a worst case scenario type of person. And for me, the worst case scenario shooting a single bevel is okay, even if I shoot it like further back or whatever, like no matter where I shoot this deer, I know it's going to cut. I know I'm going to get the maximum penetration I can. So I added about 30 grains to my arrow this year. I went to a 125 head instead of 100, and I added lighted nocks. One, just to be able to see where it hits a little bit better. Two, they add like 5 to 7 grains of weight or something like that. So,
fun fact for you, mine just from the TikTok shop. My lighted nocks showed up today, and they fit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just decided like that's the hard thing. Like I'm not gonna try and focus on resighting in anything because I think they're like 14 grains compared to a standard knock is like 6 to 9 or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, and it depends. Like if you're inside of 40 yards, I don't think you're really.
No, it's not gonna make a difference. When you shoot 80 yards, it'll probably drop an extra inch or so.
Right. So I mean, for you, like you're not doing any mule deer hunts this year, are you?
No, I'm just whitetails inside 45.
So
And that's it.
everything's going to be inside 45, probably 40. So
honestly, probably 30, but yeah.
Yeah. So those are kind of the two big things that I've done gear wise. I guess cameras a little bit, just getting permission. I more than doubled my camera arsenal. I just ordered 2 more tonight actually that I'm going to get out last minute when I can. But yeah, that's about it. Those are really the things that I focus on. It's not like, at this point my girlfriend and I were actually talking about it last night, and I'm like, from a gear standpoint, like I'm kind of good. Like I don't need more clothes. I don't really need any of that shit.
You're to the point where anything else that you would acquire is just a want and not a need.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of it's kind of clutter, honestly.
Yep,
like
I agree. I've been at that stage now the last couple of years.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I think too many people get just roped into the new gimmick and stuff. And I would say if you want to upgrade some gear, like really reflect on like what is going to help me in the woods. For me, switching broadheads this year, going to lighted nocks, now I really have the confidence of like no matter where I shoot this deer, as long as I'm aware of my shot. Obviously, if I crack it in the shoulder at 40, I'm probably not getting through that. But if I do it at 25, I might get through. Like to me, that gives me the most confidence that I'm going to kill a deer is just getting the maximum amount of penetration. And, so now that just gives me a little bit more confidence going into the woods. And these broadheads I got shoot better than any broadhead I've ever owned. I literally thought shooting a single bevel, like I'd be lucky if I could get them to fly good out to 40, and I'm probably going to shoot them out west.
Well, you had that though, because those are the same broadheads I shoot, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, you had shot my broadheads, like whether it was last year before you moved or 2 years ago, and they didn't fly for shit. Remember?
Yeah.
Like they were planing. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you got your bow just tuned to perfection, courtesy of Hoyt, and now you're stacking these. I mean, you're sending me pictures at 80 yards of these broadheads in the center of the paint.
Yeah.
No, that's dirt now, but I'm a big fan of those broadheads. I bet I've killed 6 deer now with those broadheads just in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, those guys are pretty awesome. I just ordered my first pack, and I posted it on BC Squared's Instagram, and they sent me a handwritten note, threw in a free koozie, a sticker, and gave me 10% off for next time I order, which like they didn't have to do that. Like obviously they're a cool dude that owns anybody that writes me a note with an order of anything I do, like that goes a long way with me. So
yeah, that's something I didn't.
If you're looking for broadheads, shout out to those guys.
They're actually sorry. I know the owner because I met him at the Iowa Deer Classic a couple years ago, and that's how I got in with those guys. But like they don't sell. Like he's not in Shields. He's not in like a lot of big retailers. It's
Right.
him, his wife, and a couple kids that run this place, and they sharpen everything by hand. They're packaging it all by hand. Like it's a small business, and they're out of Missouri towards Kansas City. Like it's not like Rage in Wisconsin where they're mass produced on assembly lines and they're whatever. Like this guy's actually like they get the mold and I think they get the stuff in, but he's hand sharpening them, he's packaging them, like he touches basically everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and he's not charging prices like Iron will. So.
Right. Yeah. No, they're pretty awesome. So, anyways, I don't know if you have any other gear stuff you went over like that, but
Yeah, I mean, I have a platform now this year. Last year I got into hybrid hunting, which is wearing a saddle instead of a safety harness while hunting out of a tree stand, just because I was doing some product testing. This year I made that decision just a couple weeks ago. Yes, I still am product testing, which is the reason I'm using a saddle platform, but I'm excited about it because I've done a lot of early season whitetail hunts where it's 90 degrees, 80 degrees. I mean, I sat in North Dakota the first year and it was damn near 100 degrees the night I shot my buck, which packing in even a quarter mile with all the camera gear and backpack and a tree stand, like, there's no way for me to really make my setup, super light, like a minimalist setup light. So I just have to deal with it and I sweat my ass off. Just like, so this year I decided, I'm like, I want to run a platform. It's going to shave off about 4.5 to 5 pounds. Plus, I'm going to run a smaller pack, which is going to force me to bring less gear. And what do I mean by that? Like, I'm going to have to bring my camera arm and my video camera with mics, but maybe I'm not going to bring an extra lens or I'm not going to bring binoculars or whatever. Like, just like I'm forcing myself this year to actually lessen what I'm bringing in the woods, at least early season, just so I can get in comfortably. Like, I want to be able to walk if I need to and scout my way in next week in North Dakota. Like, I looked on Onyx and some of these public pieces when I'm just staring at them, I'm like, oh, that looks like it's 400 or 500 yard walk off the road, and then I draw line distance, and it's like, holy crap, it's like 1.2 miles. And if
yeah.
I'm gonna be doing that while it's 90 degrees, is dude, zero chance I'm carrying 30 pounds on my back. I'm
Yeah.
like, I got to
Well, and
figure out how to carry 15 max and just let it ride.
yeah, and that was my whole thing with going to a saddle too, is it's a lot lighter. It kind of lowers your profile, and to me, it's like if I can hang it a little quieter, um, maybe a little faster, if I don't, stumble around in the woods because my profile isn't as big and I'm maybe a little bit quieter,
Yeah.
ultimately all those things can lead to me being a little bit more successful. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I don't know. I agree with you, and I'm still going to integrate it with my nested system, which is cool. Like what I bought works perfectly with that core pack and those uh, light rails, like
No, and,
perfectly.
and there's also a time and a place, right? Like the other reason for saddle platform is early season. I'm not sitting for 5 hours. I'm not sitting all day. Like I'm
Right.
talking, I might sit four just because it's, first couple days I get to hunt of the year, and even know that the movement that I'm going to be hunting for deer is going to be the last 30 minutes of daylight. Like sure, I'll get in early just because I need time to scout my way in, and maybe I don't know how long it's going to take to set up. Like will I find the right tree? Will I not? So I always err on the side of giving myself more time than I probably need, just in case worst case scenario, I need to take 2 hours to really like maybe I back out and I got to drive somewhere else, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Worst
so
case
actually
Ontario.
using a yeah, so worst that's why I'm using a platform. But during the rut, like in Kansas, dude, I went 4 days in a row with my dad where it was literally dark until dark. Like you're not doing that on just a platform, like a saddle platform. Like you need to sit down, like, or you need to take a break or climb down or whatever. Like 4 days of that would be just hell.
Yeah.
So, because saddle hunting, like even hybrid hunting, like while you're in the saddle position, like it works. But dude, trust me, like you were saying how sitting in a mobile tree stand, like all these lightweight tree stands, is not comfy. Like sitting in a saddle's worse, in
Yeah,
my
I
opinion. And then
wouldn't
you give
I
yourself a
wouldn't
smaller
disagree with
platform,
you.
but it's manageable for a few hours. Like it's
And
it's
that's
one of those where for 2 3 hours it doesn't bother you, but if you were to sit there for 6 hours, you'd be pretty bothered.
Yeah, and that's where once you have the saddle gear, like being able to hybrid hunt will be awesome. Like if you're gonna
Yeah,
go sit all day, like to be able to do both would be awesome,
but luckily
in
this
my
year,
opinion.
for my Wisconsin stuff, I actually got to put up tree stands and some tower blinds, so I probably won't
Yeah.
be packing in a whole hell of a lot at the moment anymore, which is something
No,
new to me. I've never done that before. I've always
it's
had
so
to
nice.
hang and
You
bang.
you're gonna realize how nice it is. You can roll in 10 minutes before first flight, 15 minutes first flight. I mean, there's going to be other situations where you might still want to get in an hour before or whatever, but you can get in so quiet, and I feel like you can make your presence so much less known. Just when all you have to do is walk into a stand and carry your bow. Like
Yeah, and
it's
I've never done that. I mean, I was 16 the last time I did that.
yeah, yeah.
And at that
So
point I didn't film. It was literally just a bow and a backpack. But
yeah.
that
So
yeah.
what else, I guess, are you doing right now that doesn't necessarily relate to the woods, but to try and get ready for season?
Honestly, like gear related, like I'm still
Doesn't
trying to
have to
catch
be
up and
gear related.
do some stuff for work. Like a lot of people, you might have a job where you can just take off, you put in your time, you don't have to worry. I don't have that reluctancy. If I'm taking off, I'm still kind of working, right? I own my own business. I still got to talk to clients. Like I made sure, and this is funny, like I spent more time scouting for a fucking campground out there than just actual like scouting spots and trees to sit in. Because I needed to find a spot where I can set up a tent and I have electricity. Why? One, I need to be able to pull files and charge batteries from filming my hunts. The other thing is I still need a place that I can have service or Wi-Fi and charge my laptop because I'm gonna have to be working, when it's dark outside or during the day when I'm not hunting and it's hot outside. Like I'm gonna have to be diligent and keep my head down on the grindstone. Even though the other guys I'll be in camp with are probably just enjoying vacation, like I'm not necessarily on vacation.
Right,
So
right.
I have to go the extra step, right? So I go on a hunting trip. Like part of my gear is bringing my laptop, and I need to make sure I got the laptop charger, and I bring a mouse, and it's like, oh, I need to bring my portable, hard drive so I can back up files while I'm out there. Like I make this shit so much more difficult than a guy that just goes out and hunts.
Yeah, yeah, I get
Like,
that.
but when you and I go on our trip this year, I mean, you'll know, you'll see all the extra shit. You'll be like, why are you bringing that? Or it's like, whatever. Everything I bring has a purpose. And the nice thing about I'm meeting a buddy out there who's driving separate, and we're kind of divvying things up because I'm an overpacker and he's also an overpacker. So I'm like, let's consolidate stuff. Like you bring this, I'll bring this. That way we don't bring two of them because otherwise, like our
Yep.
trucks are gonna be more than full. We don't need it. Like I guess
Yeah.
I should blow up my goddamn topper this weekend because last year when I blew up my flated topper, there was a hole in it from storage, so I had to sit and try and patch it, and it was a shit show. This year I stored it the same damn way because I couldn't figure it out. So if there's a hole in it and I can't get it to hold air, I'm throwing the damn thing out. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I really want to use that topper.
Yeah. Yeah, mine has been a little bit more, and obviously I'm not going on trips and stuff, and there's two sides to what you were saying. I think like you own your own business now, so you kind of have that little bit always working but never have to be working ideology a little
Yeah,
bit,
I
if
guess.
that makes sense. Like you're kind of always doing something work related, but you can kind of go whenever you want to go as long as you don't have any
Mhm.
major conflicts. I'm a
Yep.
little bit more of that like PTO right now. Like I just put in my time off and I go. There's two sides to that. I can just kind of put in my PTO and not really think about work when I go.
Hmm.
Um, but I have a lot more limited time than you.
Right.
I'm gonna do one hunting trip this year, and I might take a couple days off during the rut. And when I say a couple, I'm talking like two. And I might
Hmm.
take one day off during Wisconsin gun season to go hunt with my grandpa. Like
Okay.
that's about it. But anyways, what I've done, I guess, right now is a little bit, I'm not prepping for a trip. I'm prepping for a trip, but I'm prepping a lot more in advance. You're starting to get ready to like go right now. I still have,
Correct.
over a month and a half before we go to North Dakota. So, the big one for me has been shooting my bow. With moving last year, like back in 2023, like Rice Lake, maybe we've talked about it on here, has the best archery park I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty good.
on top of that, like my parents' house was close by and I could shoot out to 65 yards there. And even like where I worked, like come fall and the golf course wasn't busy, like I could go up to the driving range on kind of a shitty day and I could shoot like, 10 arrows up there quick if I needed just while I was at work. And I did it before. So, I used to shoot a lot, like 5 days a week, and I'd practice a
Mhm.
ton of different situations. And I was good about shooting my bow this past year, but now I live in an apartment complex. It's a little bit harder to get out and shoot. It's a little bit harder to get out and shoot for a long time. It's not too hard to get out for like 15 arrows, but it's hard to get like a good 25, 30 arrow session in.
Sure.
So what I'm really trying to do right now is just get three like very focused sessions in a week that try to get around 45 arrows a week in. I'm really practicing shooting long distances right now, like trying to get out to 80, 90 yards because I want to be comfortable at like 60 or 65 on this trip out west. And then
Mhm.
over the coming weeks, I want to get really comfortable with like squatting, drawing, and then standing up. And then I also want to get confident with shooting from my knees. So those are kind of I've always been big on shooting my bow a ton, but I'm trying to just like, if I can't shoot quite as many days per week this year, that's fine. I just need to be a little bit more focused when I do. And I think I've been shooting great. So I think I'm going to be really ready for this trip.
I wish you had a lot more PTO because I almost want to talk about like I went to Bowfest, right? And you're
Yeah.
talking about practicing scenarios about your squatting, you're on your knees, drawing, anchoring, standing up, shooting, like all the good stuff for out west. What you never get to practice is shooting elevation changes, like up or down, like 30, 40
Yeah.
feet down. Like I
Yeah.
went to Bowfest, dude, and they had it all. Like you were shooting damn near vertically, you were shooting up at targets. Like I think something like that, a shoot like that is something you would just go crazy over. Like it would be so fun. And it was fun. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna lose arrows, but it was fun.
Yeah, and I'm kind of actually almost fortunate in a way with my apartment complex. I was sending you videos. So there's this big like abandoned, just like open lot, I guess you'd call it, next to our
Yeah, it's just
complex that's just
undeveloped.
like never been built on, and it's got kind of like tall grass that's grown up, like almost the type of stuff I feel like we're gonna see out west. So a lot of
Hmm.
times when I set my target out and I get back to 50, 60, 70 yards, like the bottom half of the target's covered by grass. Or
Hmm.
like I've even had it where like if I'm aiming at a circle, like I almost have to guess exactly where that circle is. So I feel like for a Western style hunt, like that's kind of a good way to be able to practice is like kind of getting used to shooting through that grass. And then fortunately there is kind of a hill out there where I'll be able to stand like quite a ways below where I could put the target. So I will try and practice that as it gets closer a little bit because shooting above me, I guess like shooting uphill is one thing I've never really practiced before.
Yeah, it's different. It feels weird, right? Like your bow's heavier almost.
Yeah. So
Like it was super interesting. But yeah, you'll be able to practice with that and it'll be an interesting scenario.
yeah, and then the last thing I'm really trying to do is I'm just trying to get in a little bit better shape right now. I've
I'm
gained a
failing
couple
at that.
I've gained a couple pounds, so I'm trying to just get into running a little bit again. Just like I don't know truthfully what this Western hunt is going to be like from a like physicality standpoint. You can speak to that a lot better than I can, but
Hmm.
assuming it's going to be beneficial to be in good shape, like it's not going to hurt you. Um,
No, it's not gonna hurt you. As far as every Western trip I've done so far, to be honest, Ben, because of the land we're hunting and the way the roads are set up, like it's not that physical. It's not that physical demanding. You could make it that if you for sure wanted to just cover miles on foot, but you really don't need to, is the thing.
yeah, Yeah,
But
and
you
then
still
I don't know. I always think
you're gonna
about
have
too, like
situations.
it's easier to pack in when I'm going to saddle hunt. It's a little bit
Yep.
easier to get up and down the tree. Maybe even, and I'm nitpicking here, but maybe even like clothes fit a little bit better, so you're just a little bit more comfortable out there and shit like that is kind of nice. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, I don't know, just trying to get in a little bit better shape. Those are kind of the main focuses I have all around right now. I switched some gear, just kind of trying to get either comfortable with that gear or have gotten comfortable, keep shooting, and just get in a little bit better shape.
I fail at that so bad. I feel like I'm the hardest person to motivate to when it comes to doing that because I'm like all summer I'm like, yeah, I know I need to lose some weight, I need to lose some weight, and it's like I don't know. I could make a million excuses and they're all bad excuses. Like I'll fill my time up with other stuff just so I don't have to like work out. But I definitely, especially doing that lease work, dude, where I was hanging stands solely like by myself all day while other people were just staring at me. Like I was physically exhausted to the point I threw up when I got home.
Yeah,
Which I haven't thrown up since like the first day of football practice my senior year. Like
yeah,
from working out or doing something exhausting. And that's because it was 93 degrees in, the first Saturday in August and we practiced on the turf and all we did was conditioning and it felt like the damn thing. I got home and I'm like, I feel disgusting and I want to puke and I got no water, so I'm gonna chug a bunch of water and make myself throw up. And that's what I did. But
yeah.
sadly, I only got half the work done. Dad and I are going back out this Friday to hopefully finish lease work.
Nice. Yeah, you put a lot of shit out. You got a little bit more to wrap up, huh?
Yeah, and now there's the whole cluster, right? So like my lease attached to 40 acres of public, which the landowner texted me saying the public got sold and it's now private, which I have a tree stand on the public and a lot of my deer hunting revolves around that chunk of public. So he sent me the new landowner's name and number, but I'm like, what am I gonna do? Call and be like, hey, I know you just, somebody told me you bought this chunk. What's the plan? Like, are you gonna hunt it? Can I hunt it? Like, do I? Like, I can't really pay you to hunt it this year. And it's, I need to know if I need to pull my stands or what the hell's going on. So there's that kind of just threw a wrench in my plans, and it's not uber great. But on the benefit, if it truly is sold, like I shouldn't really have to worry about anybody else that I don't want in there being in there.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I think I maybe texted you this today. Is that might honestly be the best thing is if they pulled it out of that public access program.
Yeah,
Like it
I mean,
might
if
kind
they,
of
even
suck
if the
that
guy
you
doesn't let
can't
me
hunt it,
hunt,
but it might be the best thing for your piece is
correct.
for that to not be
I
public.
can hunt around it. That's the thing. I got permission on all three sides. Like there's the west side I don't have, but north, south, east I got. Like I can hunt all the way around it, and it's thick.
Yeah.
It was logged 15, 20 years ago. Like it's thick, and there's only a couple places to hunt, and that's where I have one of my stands and cameras right now. But who knows? And I got to talk to the guy to even see if he'd taken it out of the public program or what's going on. But
Yeah, it might be in the public program and you might be fine, but I think yeah, you have plenty of land around it and like that 40 acres, there's some good spots out there. Um,
yeah.
i.e. Ellie shooting her buck out there, but like it's not make or break, especially now with your lease. Like there's plenty
No,
of
you're
other
you're you're
places you
correct.
do have permission that you can kill deer.
No, and that's why I'm debating getting these two. Buddy over here's got deals on trail cameras. I might buy two more because,
Shh. We don't need to spread that around.
I I'd love to. I got two does and two fawns with spots in my pine spot food plot right now. Great. Um, you could always use trail cameras, right? I just didn't want to blow a bunch of money this year, but if I can find something at a nice cost, like I don't know. I think what I'll do is I'll wait for you to tell me how they work and see if they're junk or not, and if they're not, then I may invest.
Everybody, so I posted a story last night. I came across Amazon had a deal. I got an Amazon gift card the other day. It was my birthday. I turned 26. Um, and I got an Amazon gift card. So I'm like, how do I spend it? And I needed some lighted knocks, and then I needed some permethrin, and then I'm like, maybe I'll look at a trail camera.
Yeah.
And Moultrie's got a deal. Their Edge 2, which is their last year model. They had the Edge and the Edge Pro. On the Edge 2s, they've got a 2-pack for $80. And I've seen a lot of shit like from them. Like Chris B is with them. They obviously have their partnership with Onyx now. Like, so I'm like, they've got to be decent, but I'm like, I don't know. So I'm texting you, and you've never used them, and I'm texting my buddy Cole, and he's never used them, and I don't think my uncle's ever used them. So I'm like, shit. Like, I want to make sure I'm not buying pieces of shit. And I'm talking to my girlfriend, and like,
Yeah.
it's only $80, but what do I do? I'm on the fence. I don't know much about them. So I posted a story. And dude, I had like 7 people respond to that, which like I'll post story, like I have over 1,000 followers on that page. I will post stories like that a lot of times, and I'll get like maybe 2 replies, and it's like the same
Yeah.
2 dudes every time. And this was like people were coming out of the woodwork, like everybody was like, I love them. Like camera quality's
Tell you how good
great, they
this thing
work
was.
super good. Like so, some guys sent me, like I had a guy who sent me some pics, and he's like, got an array of, he's got everything from the original to now. I think he even has some 3s. And he's like, this pick specifically and this pick specifically are the Edge 2. And like, they're pretty solid. And like, their sell plan started, I think it's 1,000 picks for $10 a month or $9.99.
Yeah.
But you also get 10 videos a month with that, which is kind of nice. Like, I pay $13 a month for my Reveal, my Tacticams for.
Yeah, Tacticams are the craziest plan. That's why I like the
Yeah,
brackets, right? Like I'm running $3
for
a month
unlimited.
for all my cameras.
Yeah, it's granted it's unlimited, but I don't get any video. No
Oh,
video.
sure. Yeah, it's upgraded.
Like, so anyways, I don't know. I'm gonna give them a try. We'll see. I will report back on what I think, but I don't know. Moultrie seems to either nobody that hates them cared enough to speak up, or there's just a lot of people that liked them, because I've got quite a bit of people like,
And
yeah,
I've heard
these
the
are
same thing
great.
too, where
Yeah.
guys really like them. Like my partners at the Breaking Point, I believe, are sponsored by those guys, and they really like them. Like 8 years ago, dude, Moultrie sucked. Like they were cheap. Like nobody really used them, and now all of a sudden they have cell cams and they're affordable. And it's
Well,
like,
I feel like when they
anything's
before
better than
cell
a spy
cams,
point.
I feel like that before cell cams they were good. Like
I think you
15
could
years
buy
ago,
decent ones, but
I'm talking, like I remember my grandpa ran them like 10, 12, 15 years ago, and I remember people like kind of swore by them back then. Maybe I have a tainted memory, but I thought I remember them being pretty good. And then
I I'm upset with trail camera brands. I grew up when I worked at Shields, and even before, the only trail cameras I would run were Brownings. I bet I had a
yeah,
dozen Browning cameras that you would check, and they were the name of the dude. They were like number one besides Reconyx. Like you can't beat Reconyx, but like Browning trail cameras were the best. And then like cell cams got popular, dude. They didn't even invest in trying to figure out cell cameras. Like they still are dead. Like nobody
oh,
runs Brownings anymore because they don't
see,
have,
my buddy from around here, the one that has just giants everywhere, he said his
yeah.
favorite cams are his Brownings. I don't know if they're cell cams or not, but I think they do make some cell cams.
They make their new Defender or whatever it is. Like I think they only have one option now, but they're like 4 years behind the game. Like they still don't have very many options, and they're more still pushing like we make, and they do. Like their pictures were great when I check. I still have a couple Browning cameras that are 4 or 5. No, they're older than that. They're probably 7, 8 years old that run great. But it's like, well, I just don't care to go check all my trail cameras anymore. Like that's the convenience of having a cellular device. I don't have to, like, I would rather pay $10 a month because it saves me way more in gas than driving out there, walking out there and checking stuff. And
Yeah, and see, I don't know. I mean, I get it. These companies have to make money, and they definitely should make money off the fact that they have cell cams now, but like,
so,
I don't know, dude. I feel like when I was a kid, you could buy cameras for, granted, I never really bought any, but you could buy decent cameras for like 80, $90. You could get something
yeah,
really nice for like 120, 130.
yeah.
And um now, like, if you want to buy a current model, like, name brand camera, you can't even get them for 150 or for
No,
less than 150. You're spending at least $10 a month for the most part on the data plans. And then batteries, I feel like you go through way faster because not only are they taking pictures, but now they have to send them and they have to search for service all the time.
correct.
So
You spot on with
I
that.
don't know. The camera game has gotten like it is so helpful if used properly. Like I'm excited. I just ordered 2 more tonight. I'm gonna get those 2 out. Then I feel like I'm gonna be pretty covered on my land actually, and not have a ton of gaps. I'm gonna have enough intel to kind of know where to sit, but not have to chase cameras all the time. I feel like, but at the same time, it's like I'm gonna be spending literally $70 a month on data plans. Like that's nuts.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's nuts. And my black gates, as of right now, I will ride or die with them. Like
No,
I don't have plans.
I'm a huge fan. I would just, wish that every time I buy something new from them, they seem like a company that like they get really good new ideas, but when they launch them, like the first couple months, they have problems. Like when I first
Yeah,
bought the 4R4G lights, just the regular ones, like the battery life was trash, and then they came out with like a firmware update that they did remotely that improved the battery life like by 5 times. But it was just like, okay, well, the first 2 months I had the cameras, I changed the batteries twice, and now you made it a firmware update where it's like I didn't have to change my batteries all year. And then these 2 new cameras I bought the lithium packs, and they only lasted for I 30 days, less than 200 pictures. Granted, you and I talked. I have them in the lowest spot on this lease possible, and there's no cell service on my lease. Like when I'm on my phone, it says SOS. I can only send text via satellite. The Blackgates tell me that they're at like 31%, so they're constantly searching for service, which very well could just be how the batteries drain. I'm just wondering if that, a month or two from now, they'll send out another firmware update and be like, oh, we're extending the life on the battery packs or whatever it is. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I got all mine, or I'm running 2 of those lithium packs in mine, and they're all still. I'm getting pictures. They've all updated within the last 24 hours or 20 hours. Um. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you had going there, but it must have been a data thing. I'm
yeah,
not
who
sure.
knows? And it's not the end of the world because, I've never run 6 trail cameras on a small chunk of land like that before. Typically, I got one camera here, I got another camera 5 miles over, and then I'll have, 2 other cameras 20 miles apart, just different chunks of public. Like, I have 2 trail cameras right now that are 80 yards apart, and then the other 3 are within 250. Like, it's almost dumb now that I think about it, but I just wanted to know what deer comes out to what food plot at what time.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's why
So
I said I'm like I could use another 2 cameras, but not the end of the world.
yeah,
But
they're
other than that,
definitely. I don't know. I've changed my tune on them now, on especially on private. Like I definitely like having them for sure.
but not to cut this podcast short, but I do have ribs waiting for me, so
Yeah.
I
No,
am
you're good.
gonna get something to eat, and then this conversation actually maybe was my kick in the ass too. I know I'm hosting a party event this weekend, but I really need to make sure I pack all my stuff, I blow up my topper, just like get it done 3 days ahead of time, 4 days ahead of time, so I can give myself time to pivot if something's wrong. So
Yeah. When does the season actually open there?
Friday,
Saturday. Oh, Friday.
Friday, Friday at
Damn.
noon. Yep, the
29th. That
29th.
is early as shit.
Yep, I'm gonna
But
shoot a deer in velvet, and I'm going out there with no standards. If I see another 100-inch buck in velvet, I'm gonna shoot it. Why? Because I don't care.
yeah.
I'm there to kill something, and otherwise I'm going to North Dakota on your trip with a whitetail tag in my pocket, and that would really suck for you to be hunting mule deer and a big whitetail pops out, and I'm like, hey Ben, sorry, I got to go after this thing.
Yeah. Fuck it. I don't
So I'm
care.
just gonna no, and yeah, there's a lot more stuff in the work. I gotta order Scott's scope right now. He
Yeah.
sent me I got a check sitting here right now, and I emailed Swarovski about getting that scope, and they haven't emailed me back. So I did take care of that this week too. So,
Yeah.
but
Nice, man.
all right,
Well, yeah, we'll do another pod when you get back.
Yeah, we'll have a hunt recap and we can talk about all the crazy shit I did, all the heat, all the sweat, all the tears, all the fun stuff, sharing a deer camp with two other guys that
Yep.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Cool. Well, good luck out there, and thanks for listening tonight, everybody.